Hello there, this is another MagJS tutorial. Actually, this is part two of getting started with MagJS, my first MagJS example. As always, we're going to start at our MagJS homepage. But unlike normally starting our template, we're going to go right into the existing um, code pen that we already started, and we're just going to reuse that. So starting at our homepage, and just so you know, each video will have um, the code pen that it did because I'm going to fork from it. Okay, so this one I'm going to fork now, and we're just going to continue where we left off. I'm actually going to get rid of the called, this thing here, okay? And what we're going to try to accomplish in this message, I'm going to get rid of the duplicate ones. Just going to have one for right now. I'm going to put it like this, greeting. We don't need a key because we're only having one at this point. We have our greeting div, we have our component, definition. I'm actually going to put this in line just because it's a little more prettier to look at visually. I'm going to just put it like this and put it right over here, go like that. Okay, so we have everything in place. Make sure, oh, we have to put our ID over here, get rid of this guy. Okay, so it looks like we have everything set up and in place. And in this part of the tutorial, we're going to do something different. We're going to have a list of different messages, and we're going to have an interval to change the greeting, okay? So why don't we see what we're talking about here? So what we're talking about, and we're just going to look over here for a second, is we have our component, we have our message, but what we're going to do now is create our set interval with a list of random messages, okay? So I'm going to copy this part here and then set up the other part. So first off, we want to create a set interval. I believe it was for I believe it was for 2 seconds. So that's 2000 milliseconds. I'm going to put our messages. That's our list of messages that we have over here. 1, 2, 3 different messages and a random message generator. And we're going to put our renderer, which is basically the opposite way of calling the mag constructor. Remember we talked about in our last tutorial is that the way to define it is with your selector and then your function. The way to then put it somewhere is with calling our definition function with some properties optionally and the place we want to put it. Okay, so we have our set interval, we have our messages, and we have a way to select different messages. So why don't we take the random message here and put it into as a prop. So random message like that. So every 2 seconds, starting from the beginning, we expect it to show a different message over here. And it doesn't seem to be happening. So the question is, why not? What's happening, right? So why don't we take a look into our handy dandy console and see if we have any errors here. So number one, I have a typo. So that's always good to know. So let me copy this and put it over here. So now this is 2 seconds from when it loads. So there you go. Hello universe, hello planet. Hello universe, hello planet. Hello universe again. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this as well as our default because I don't think we really need a default in this particular case. We have our message, we have our bold place we want it to appear, our placeholder. We don't really need a placeholder if we didn't want to. We could have literally put it just in the output in general. In other words, get rid of this and we could just put it right there. Let me show you what that looks like. You could simply go like this. And I mean, we don't even need it to be a property. We can literally just have it be a string as well. Just showing you some flexibility and creativity with MagJS. So you have different options. You don't always have to write a lot. You can write a little bit less. You can just say random message, greeting, like that. We have our output generator and the place we want it to go to, like that. And I mean, I could have easily made this into a DOM. I could go like this, document get element by ID, like that, because it is an ID on the page. So not only can we have a selector, not only can we have an element being returned, but we could also create an element. We can literally say create element and make a greeting thing here. And what's going to happen here, it's going to return the string because it's not in line yet. We don't actually have this existing, right? So how do we take the output and put it somewhere specifically? Well, first, why don't we look at what the output is? Let's say we want this, and we're just going to do inner HTML. I guess probably outer is better. Let's do outer HTML, like that. So hopefully we'll see some output over here of our random message. I don't know if it's happening here in our log, maybe not. Let's see if our console shows us something different. Of undefined, okay. So let's see what it's actually outputting. It's saying undefined. So this variable here, create element greeting, doesn't exist in the actual document, right? So it's a dynamic node. Now you see it says something different. Undefined, undefined. So why don't we just put it back to where it was before, which was get element by ID, because we know we have that ID in the page there. Okay. Now, are you curious to see what this actually returns? Let's see if we can see what that is. If it returns anything. It's just returning undefined, right? Because we're not really doing anything at this point. We gave it something and we put it somewhere else. So this concludes the part 2 tutorial. Just wanted to walk through showing you the ability to dynamically change data on a component in a template in a specific place and how you would do that. And that's it for right now. In our next tutorial, we're going to create an event and show you how you can change it with a click. That's it for right now. Thanks, until next time.